Hello, and welcome back to your mindset coaching session. Today, we're looking at how to express yourself, specifically how to express yourself when dealing with difficult people, when dealing with people who are negative critics or people who are just generally very controlling in terms of their behavior and their attitude towards you. So how do you express yourself more easily in those times, and how do you express your emotional needs as well? Because you know that the need to be heard, the need to feel significant, the need to feel like your life and your input and your viewpoints matter is a very important emotional need. And when that need is not met, it can actually cause a lot of distress within us. So being able to express ourselves more easily, being able to express our needs and our challenges and any not just criticisms that we might have received in the past, but just any complaints that we have, being able to express those things more clearly and more efficiently can help smooth how our lives run, especially when dealing with other people. So that having been said, let's jump right into it. How do you go about expressing yourself, expressing your needs, expressing your wants when dealing with difficult people or dealing in an emotionally charged situation? So what really helps in those situations is to have a strategy, because a strategy can help you organize your thoughts, can help you sort of follow a specific routine when you're going through those things, so that you don't get confused and you don't get muddled up. Because when you just sort of try and go and wing it, we might get overwhelmed by the emotion of that situation. So here's a very simple strategy that can help you to express yourself more easily in challenging situations. And it's called the ASA strategy, ASSA. So the first part of the strategy is alert. Here you go to the person and you alert them that you want to speak to them. You're just going to tell the person, can I please speak to you at a specific time and a date about this particular issue? And when you're doing this, you're just going to stick to the facts. You're not blaming, you're not using any emotional language, because that derails everything. So the very first part, the most important part here, is to alert the person, because a lot of times when we have grievances, we think that by feeling emotional about that situation, people will sort of mind read us and sort of can get into our heads and see what it is that we're thinking or get an idea of that thing. But unless we express or alert that person that there actually is an issue, most people actually can't read our minds. They might be aware that there might be an issue, but they won't know what the specific issue is. So alerting that person is the first step, and it's a very important step. Now, the second step here is to obviously state your grievance. You tell the person what the problem is. And here, it's very important to use the I statement rather than the you statement. So you're talking about yourself and what your grievance is. So you go to the person and tell them, I'm not happy with you shouting at me, versus saying you always shout at me. You're talking about how you feel in that situation, not what they are doing. You tell them why it's a problem when they act that way towards you. So it makes me upset and makes you look unprofessional in front of other staff. Because if you talk about them, they can always argue about their behavior. They can always deflect that. But here, no one can argue with your own experience. That's why it's always important to start the statement with the I. I am not happy with, I am upset with, I am annoyed about this specific thing. So second step there is to state your grievance. The third step here is to sell the benefits. You sell the benefits of them behaving better. So in the future, if you have something to say to me, it would be better if you talk rather than shout, and do so privately. This will make you appear more professional and improve my morale as well. So here, by selling the benefits here, you're not just telling them what the issue is here, you sell them the benefits, and this helps to reinforce the positive behavior that you're looking to get from them. Right? So it's not just telling a person you got a problem. It's like, you've heard that thing. If you got a complaint about something, don't just complain and offer a solution. Here, you've complained, you've offered them a particular solution that they can follow in the future. And the fourth step is to agree. You seek agreement with the person to do things differently in the future. Can we agree that from now on, you refrain from shouting, and if you ever need to speak to me again, you do it away from other people and you don't raise your voice? If they agree, then if they ever back out on it, all you have to do is remind them of the agreement. So it's very simple, ASSA, ASA strategy. You alert the person of what the issue is, state your grievance. Remember, you stick to the facts. You use the I statement rather than the you. You sell the benefit of them behaving better. You offer them a solution of, can we do things like this in the future? And then you seek agreement from them so that in the future, if they then ever do act that way again, all you have to do is remind them of the agreement, and 9 out of 10 times they'll catch themselves. And hopefully what happens in time is that as you keep doing this and reinforcing this behavior and selling the benefit, they will change their behavior. At the very minimum, they'll be more conscious of it. And this will also help you to express yourself better with other people in other situations. So it's a very simple strategy, but it's very, very effective. So a couple of other strategies that you can use is the broken record technique. This happens with a person who's a control freak and they keep trying to tell you to do something in a particular way, specifically the way that they want it done, without necessarily considering your opinions, or maybe you know a better way of doing this thing. But because they're a control freak, all things must be done in the way that they want it to be done. So here with the broken record technique, you're going to give them one reason and one reason only, and you stick to that reason through hell and high water. So a control freak will come and say something like, you should get these shoes because they're better value for money. And you just say, I know, but I like these shoes the best. These other shoes are better and will last longer. I know, but I just like these other shoes. These shoes are more fashionable at the moment. And I know, but I really like these other shoes. Control freak, you know what? Why don't you just get your blessed shoes then, right? They'll eventually get annoyed when they realize that they can't change your mind. And you're not giving them different reasons that they can then say, hey, but you keep changing the reason, why not just go with my idea? You stick to your reason, and you stick to reason, and you stick to your reason, no matter what they keep saying. Eventually, they'll have to back out because they'll get annoyed. They realize that they can't change this person's idea. So this is a very simple technique as well. Stick to one reason, and you keep repeating it over and over and over again. They'll get annoyed and they'll back out and realize this person it's not even the fact that they're getting annoyed, it's them realizing that you're standing up for yourself. You're not backing off, you're being assertive. And assertive doesn't mean that you're locking horns with the person. It just means you stand your ground and you drawing clear boundaries in a calm way. And once they realize that I can't push this person's buttons, I can't get them to do this thing, they'll get annoyed by that. So it's not necessarily the reason, it's the fact that they can't really move you. So don't worry so much about having the perfect reason. The whole idea here is just to stick to the reason. Have one reason and keep sticking to that thing in a very calm manner. The next method here is just to use humor. I love using this, right? So you can gently start to introduce humor into dealings with difficult people. In this way, you can gradually introduce more flexibility into their approach without directly confronting them. Because with humor, it's like you can point something at a specific behavior without necessarily criticizing it. You're just shining light on it in a very funny way without being super direct about it. So if a person comes and they're a control freak and they want you to do something a particular way, all you can just do is maybe use humor and say, yes, sire, my will is to serve all your needs day and night, kind of thing. It's a little bit of sarcasm, they're a little bit witty, but it might just actually jolt them enough, shock them like, oh, okay, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh with this person. Let me tone it down a bit. So humor is a little way that you can just use a little bit of a witty statement just to poke fun at the behavior, but hopefully it'll catch them off guard. The only thing with humor is remember that you can use it, but if you really feel the need to confront them about their bossiness or about them being a control freak, then making jokes may send the message that you're not serious about how annoying you find them or how annoying you find their behavior to be. So make jokes as a way of tempering their attitude. But when you really mean business and when you're really serious about something, then maybe that's not really the time to joke. So don't mix your messages there. So read the situation and try and get a feel of, is this the right time to be joking about this? Or is this something that's really annoying me and it's been going on for some time and I really need to address the situation? If that's the case, then be direct. Use the ASA strategy. And the most important thing here is to stay calm. This is so important. When people overstep the mark, it's natural to feel disgruntled, sometimes even enraged. But assertive, clear communication requires presence of mind. And for that to be the case, we need calm. We need to be calm. The moment we start launching insults or yelling or sobbing, we have left the realm of credibility. Because remember, to think clearly, to have a logical argument, to rationally point out something to someone, you need to be using your thinking brain. When you get emotionally charged, the thinking brain shuts down and the emotional brain takes over, and we don't have the best, we're not in our peak stage, we don't have the best of ourselves running the show. So it might not be surprising that bad behavior produces responses within us. When someone acts very critical towards us or shouts at us in front of people, we might have that negative initial response. But the thing is, when you go to a person and you confront them in that charged state, they're now more focused on you crying or you being enraged rather than on their actual behavior. It distracts from the situation. So when you're calm, it allows you to be rational, and it also doesn't allow for any distractions in terms of what the real issue is. So a great way of doing this is to actually practice not only what you're going to say when you go and confront the person, but also how you're going to feel in that situation. So to get a full experience of this, I just want you to hypnotically or just mentally rehearse how you're going to feel in that situation. So that having been said, I just need you to close your eyes and just shake your body out. Right? And make yourself comfortable wherever it is that you're sitting, lying down. If you're in a place where you can do that right now, please do so. If you can't, relax, or if you're operating machinery or driving or doing something that requires your attention, you can do this a little bit later. But in as much as you can, it'll only take a few minutes. Just sit down and relax, okay? And just close your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth. Just relaxing that body. And take another deep breath through the nose. Hold it and slowly exhale through the mouth. That's it. And I just want you to clench those fists for a minute and just really push all the tension that you can into the balls. Make your fists into really tight balls and just, that's it. Just clench all the way into those fists. Make them tighter and tighter. Just imagining all that tension, all that criticism. That's it. Those negative attitudes, controlling people, mood swings, just all those negative reactions towards those people. Just going into those fists. That's it. Making them tighter and tighter. Really tight. And when you can't make them any more tighter, just open those fists and relax all the way down. Now, that's it. Just noticing which of those hands feels more relaxed than the other. And the hand that feels most relaxed might be the right hand or the left. And whether it's the right hand right now or the one that's left behind that can feel right now, doesn't matter, because any of those hands can teach that body how to relax all the way down. Now, without you having to really think about it. Just like how before you go to sleep at night, That body just knows how to wind down. Stop those thoughts. Relax that body. Slow down the breathing and just feel comfortable. Now, you can just get a sense or visualize times in the past when someone either insulted you or criticized you or was very controlling towards you. It can be any time whatsoever, a recent time or a time long ago. And you can watch calmly as though you were many miles away, watching it from the outside as if it's a small screen somewhere far away. Just get a sense and notice what it feels like when those words or criticisms or controlling behavior can just slide off you like drops of water sliding off a duck's back, just having little to no effect whatsoever. Let's get a sense of that now. Many different times where that behavior just did not have an effect on you. And really imagine that now. And even more relaxed than before. You need to get a sense of being impervious to negative criticism or controlling behavior or mood swings from other people. That's it. Get a sense of watching yourself in those past times, just dispassionate, disconnected, and indifferent to that behavior. Like it's something that happened so long ago and it's just water off a duck's back, drifting away and washing away down the river of time. That's it. Now, just get a sense of going into future times, feeling relaxed and more indifferent about similar behavior in the future. Any controlling behavior or moodiness, mood swings, negative criticism. Just get a sense of watching yourself in the future, acting calm, relaxed, assertive, and very indifferent to that behavior or to those words. That's it. Just get a sense of that right now. And then once more, just observe yourself from some possible future time where you're using the ASA strategy or the broken record technique, where you go and you express your needs in a calm, assertive, and confident manner, where you stick to the facts and you state your grievance, sell the benefits, and agree. Just get a sense of going to a person who you might want to talk to, either in the immediate or possible future. Just get a sense of clearly expressing your complaints and being calm and sticking to the facts. Just get a sense of that right now. That's it. And this can act as a blueprint for your mind, for the new behavior, for the new attitudes and words that you'll easily express in the future without really having to think about it. And for now, you can just start to come back to the room, being more aware of the surface that body's sitting on. That's it. And any sounds around you, just get a sense of those eyes wanting to open right now, and just open them and give yourself a little stretch, and welcome back. So the beauty of that is the mind doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined future and current reality. And when you do this on a regular basis, when you just sit down for a few minutes and mentally rehearse how you want to behave, and mentally rehearse you leaving those negative emotions behind, it creates a new neural pathway in the mind, and it acts as a blueprint for you to act that way in the future, because the mind's basically said, I've experienced this emotional state before. I don't have to react in this way. I can react in this way because I've given myself those options. So I really encourage you to do this on a regular basis, and you'll notice that your behavior is so much more different in those challenging situations where you're dealing with people who are very controlling, or where you want to express your needs, but you don't necessarily know how. Doing this practice more than anything else that you've learned today is going to be so powerful and radically change how you express yourself and how you behave in those challenging times. So I encourage you, your homework for this particular session is to rehearse expressing yourself in the future. And if you want to listen to the final part of this recording, then I encourage you to do so. You can either do that or you can do it in your own time, or you can do it listening to this recording. It doesn't matter. The whole idea is just to get that practice in. Do this a couple of times a day if you want. You can do it once a day. Just do it as often as you can. Do it for at least a week and give yourself a powerful blueprint, and notice how your behavior is so much more different. Sometimes that behavior is an instant radical shift, and you might actually jolt people. It might actually even try and confront you even more, and you'll stick to your guns even more, because they're not used to you behaving that particular way. So they might even use words like, oh, you're so much more arrogant. What's happened to you? That's fine. It's just them adjusting to a new behavior. Sometimes it's a small shift. It's not necessarily an entire shift. It's a small shift where you notice, I'm a little bit annoyed, but I'm not angry anymore. This thing is now just annoying to me. And you notice that emotion starts to come down more and more. Or you might be able to go to the person and actually tell them what the issue is. You might not feel 100% while you're doing it, but the fact that you're doing it is such a powerful thing in and of itself. So don't necessarily look for big shifts. Those can happen. It might even be small shifts. But what I can guarantee you is that you will notice a change, big or small, just stick to it. I wish you all the best in expressing yourself and have a fantastic, fantastic day.